Hey. As promised, I told you that I would give you a little tutorial on how I do my everyday brow. My everyday brow and my makeup brow are two different things, okay? As you can see, I do not have on any makeup. You see my moles, you see my freckles, you see my texture. It's called character. Get into it. Anyway, so my everyday brow, I use several eyebrow pencils. One is the Absolute Perfect Eyebrow Pencil. All right, there we go. Absolute. I didn't completely finish taking the stuff off of it because I was kind of in a rush. It is two-ended, spoolie, slanted eyebrow pencil. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to be using. I also use Absolute's Perfect Fill Brow Marker. Okay, I use this as well. I use this because of the edges of it. It helps create the natural look. Okay, for my highlight at my brow bone, I use Kiss New York Kiss. I use both. I use my actual foundation and I use my highlight. I use my highlight toward the end. I use my foundation toward the bottom of the brow bone. I guess that's what it's called. So let's do it. Luckily for you, the mirror is right behind you, so I ain't gotta look crazy while I'm looking in this mirror. Okay, first thing, I also use e.l.f. So I use e.l.f.'s Grip It primer on my eyebrows. I don't like using the eyebrow glue because I have sensitive skin. I learned the hard way trying to follow the trends, and I tried the whole gots to be spray on the face, and now I'm finishing up my sentence. I paid for it, okay? So don't do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to be on the hunt in the coming months for the best setting spray out on the market, and when I find it, I'll do a review. Okay, let's get this done. Of course, use your spoolie, brush upward. Use your spoolie, brush upward. Now for the excess, I usually just take like a I take a sponge and just swipe it away. It also helps me get the excess off the brow, because too much of the primer, number one, especially when you're always running late like me, be in the way, and doesn't help when you're trying to put on your actual brow pencil. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in and just swipe downward to get the edges all on one, the ends of my brows all on one control and all together. Listen, it's a little early for me. All right, pardon my gibberish. All right, so I start at the base of my brow. Short, quick strokes, following the natural line of my eyebrow. As you see, I like a high arch, and I just kind of let it fall where it is gonna fall. Then I go to the top. I use the age-old instructions that you line your brow first, okay? You line your brow, then you go into your brow. Pardon those little pitter-patter feet. That happens to be my baby Lola, my poodle. Go in. I like a really high arch because I don't have much hair up there. I try to go in and create it. I'm right-handed, so it's always weirder on the left than it is on the right. Never really have like identical twins. It's always like fraternal twins or first cousins. Some days you might have distant cousins. It just depends on what you're doing. Go in, same way. Please understand me when I tell you this is all trial and error. Ain't nothing I'm saying law. All right, this is just what works for me. Ain't nobody telling me I tried it and you said it was right. Now, well, I told you this is what works for me. All right, these my eyebrows. I ain't doing yours, I'm doing mine. I'm teaching you how to do yours. You find what works for you and you stick to it. Yeah. short, quick strokes. All right. That works for me. May not work for you, but this ain't your face. Okay. All right. Once I've done that, I go in with the actual brow marker. And I make my short, quick strokes upward. All right. I know it looks a little big right now. We're going to work on that. Then I go back in with my spoolie and I just work the product into my brows. Get any excess. Make sure I don't have that blocky look. All right. I like a bit of an ombre look on my brows. I done had my years of block look, and I don't want to go back. All right. As you can see, there's a little bit of brightness, a little bit too much brightness right there. So I just go back in with my, it's a little bit brightness over here too. I go back in with my pencil over the marker just to make sure that everything is copacetic. I do not highlight the top of my brow when it's just a brown lash. I only highlight the bottom. Do not know which brush I'm using. Just flat. All right. I use very little. I just put a dab on my hand. And if I need some more, I'll go back and get some more. A little dab, because it's valuable product and we ain't wasting none. Okay. I start with the darker of the two. And I kind of just mix it in just a little bit with the lighter one. I start at the base and I use the same concept, short, quick strokes. When I get to the end is when I press down and go with the brow line. Okay. Then I brush the product downward so that it looks faded in. Okay. And I'll go back under that with a sponge. That's how I do that, right? Again, darker one. Mix a little with the light one. Don't need a whole lot of product. Go in. This one always gives me the blues because, again, I'm right-handed. I'm going left to right instead of right to left. Yeah, I'm going right to left instead of left to right. So I'm always trying to stay out of my head about it, but as you can see, I don't know if you see, but I'm using my pinky as a balance so that I'm not just shaking all over the place with my hand. Again, once I get to the arch of the brow, I press down with the brush and follow my brow line. Like so, like that. Brush downward. And I try to go in here to make sure it's not, like I said, blocky. I use my sponge to get as much of the excess product as possible. And You see that? I ain't even gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna stress myself, okay? Don't you stress yourself neither. And that is my brow. What I like to do with the excess is I like to go in. You see I'm a little dark here. I just like to take that, go in, and dab underneath. Just brush it. You see the difference? Just brighten up, wakes up my face a little bit. You know, when you a little lighter than the most, you have to be mindful of that. I use a little bit of whatever excess setting powder I got around and just brush it under there. And I'll let that be the reason, honey. I go about my business, okay? I hope you enjoy. Have a good day.